What's up, y'all? This is E from the Hear Me Out podcast. Tap in with us. We're going to be making some noise, get into some solutions, and making things happen in the space, in the culture.
Hey, y'all. This is City with two Ys because I'm too wise. Tap into the Hear Me Out podcast. We're going to be recording and bringing you guys great content. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube and follow all of our personal pages and our Instagram page at Hear Me Out Podcast.
Hey, you guys, this is Ray with the Hear Me Out podcast. I'm just here giving you guys my insight, my opinions on where I'm at in life right now. I definitely want you guys to tap in with us. Let us know what you guys want to talk about. You guys can follow me on Instagram at itsgiving.ray. Yeah, get into it.
All right, so we're going to just get started. You ready? I'm posing this question to you. Why do you think that the 50-50 conversation is so prevalent in the Black community?
I think it's real big because of social media. I think other than that, like nobody was talking about it, or people were talking. I don't think nobody was talking about it.
Like 50-50?
Yeah, I don't think that was a conversation anywhere until social media started to post it to the people.
What are your thoughts on 50-50?
What do I do, or what are my thoughts?
No, not necessarily what you do, but just, I mean,
what do you do?
What do you do? Oh, she said, what do you do? Okay, what do you do?
So I do most of the heavy lifting. So it ain't 50-50. I'll say I'll do more than that, but she definitely contributes fair share.
Yeah.
To what's going on. But if I could, I'd just work and she wouldn't work at all. You know what I'm saying? But that's not our reality. Right. So, I believe that people should do what works for you. People are so consumed with social media and what everybody else got to say. Man, do what you do.
I agree. And I think honestly too, like I don't know. I think social media definitely has an impact in the sense that it kind of paints this unrealistic expectation. I don't think many households can be one income earning households. Not in our demographic.
Not in Los Angeles.
Not in our not in our demographic, not in our generation. I think for the most part it's an ideal, it's an aspiration, right? That people want to like reach, but
reach 50-50?
No, reach like one income, providing households.
That gotta be a big income.
But I also think that there isn't anything wrong with 50-50. And even so, like, I think it came out of necessity. I don't think women, because what I hear, the rhetoric I hear is, I don't want a 50-50, relationship or man. And it's like, well, like we have to look at what the incomes are.
You need to look at what type of woman you are to be talking about.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
That means that everyone falls into a specific category.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Everybody falls into a specific category.
I do not.
I know right now that there are certain women ain't fucking with me.
Okay.
Right? You gotta know your place. Right?
Okay.
And I feel like women who talking this 50-50 or women who want like the 80-20 or the 100%, you gotta be doing certain things and looking certain ways to be asking for that.
For sure. I think the women who have that lifestyle are desirable, more desirable than the average woman. You know what I mean?
No,
I feel like they're more desirable than the average woman. Hence, they're able to attract the higher earners to get the 100%. But that's not the overwhelming majority. For the average woman and the average man, even if you're not living in a metropolitan city, 2 incomes is better, right? And more sustainable than one.
Why is it such a big topic in the Black community, though?
So because
it's not a big topic.
Because other people ain't broke. They get money. Money.
That and why it's prevalent in our community is out of necessity. Like the reality is, if you look back historically, we're not earning as much as other races. And there's no shade. It's like no slight, but it's just the truth. Like our men are not earning as much or as early in terms of like trajectory. Like you can see other races of men, not in the overwhelming majority, but you can see other races of men who are making sizable incomes in their mid to late 20s, early 30s. Whereas I think in Black communities, it happens a little bit later. And I think that's where like things get kind of shaky because from the women's perspective, they're expecting the 25, 30-year-old man to have an income that is more on par with a 45-year-old man or 50-year-old man. And that's where the whole thing breaks down. I don't think a woman in today's day and age should require a man to be able to take care of everything financially. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that it's a realistic expectation. I think that you can build to that, right? You can build to that, but I don't think that should be the expectation. Now, is it an aspirational goal? Sure. If your man can do it, sure. But that conversation to me, I think is just, it's not rooted in reality.
So let me ask you, as a married woman, are you okay with 50-50?
And it's never going to be 50-50. I might be carrying 80 sometimes. And he might be carrying 80 sometimes. I think you have to be flexible. I think one of the biggest problems in our community, the thing that plagues Black people, is that we want something that, one, we've never seen. Like, we're literally just, we've never seen that. Like,
you can want something you've never seen.
You have not had that.
It don't matter. I could want it.
You can want it, and I can strive for that.
You could want it. That's an aspiration. You're working towards that.
You gotta be realistic.
But you have to, like, we all have a starting point, and we have to operate from that starting point. You can't be like, oh, I want a man who makes $250,000 and can just afford to keep me in the house. Those men are rare and are desirable by a wide variety of women. So those men have the pick of the litter. They're going to probably choose someone that's desirable to them. So then you have to look at yourself and say, well, am I the type of woman
I just said
that man wants?
I don't even think it's based on that in my particular experience.
Okay.
I go into dealing with a man or situations knowing that I'm going to handle myself. It's a bonus if he's doing majority or if he's helping or whatever, but it's just what I don't know. I think it's like I think it's a type of woman. I don't even think it's like how she look. It's a type of woman you're dealing with.
That is true. I will say that.
Because some women have
I don't think
too much pride to just be asking. Like, there's really
those women look a certain kind of way.
Well, I think that to the point that she's making, it's a little bit nuanced. I do think, generally speaking, the women who are privileged to have a man who's taking care of 100% of the bills looks a certain kind of way. For sure. There may be some exceptions to the rule, but I don't think that's the overwhelming majority. I think it's beneficial if she also is smart and she also is industrious and she also can contribute in other ways. But I think the overwhelming majority of women who are afforded that lifestyle do look a certain way.
Yeah.
And I mean, so back to the point is, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with 50-50 per se. I think that what is progressive in our community would be, hey, I want to achieve the ability to be able to take care of my family 100%. From a man's perspective, I'm saying. I might not be there right now, but I'm working towards it. And I think from a woman's perspective, if you are well-adjusted and you have your head on straight, you're going to assess his actions and his behavior, but you should be willing to work with a man, because the reality is, I don't see the type of men that women speak about in quantum. I just don't. Like, the men who can take care of 100%, I think it's idealistic, and I think it's like, is cool to say on a pod, but I don't think that that's like what is the reality.
So how about why men are so okay, Black men particularly, and you can answer this, Edgar. Why are y'all so okay and relaxed in being 50-50? Because it's like y'all always, I'm not even gonna say y'all always, let me stop. Y'all feel like, and this is just what I've ran into, women are always after the money y'all don't even have.
Damn.
You don't know what somebody has.
I mean, let's be for real. It's just like most of the men are like, she's a gold digger, you're not about to, I'm doing 50-50, I'm not spending no money, I'm not tricking on no bitch. What money do you have to trick, sir?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
and I'm just saying, and like, you know, just general, it's like men are so relaxed right now with like not spending on women at all, because they feel like they're using them, or
and that's a big thing. You see all the and all I have to reference is like the social media, right? But you see the girls like a guy sent me $25 for lunch. Like, what's wrong with him? The lunch is $100, and it's like, where is lunch $100 anywhere? And I feel like if someone sent you $25 for your lunch, if your lunch costs $40, then put the other $15. You're lucky I sent you anything. Or get you something that costs $25. But when you have women moving like that, it's like, yeah, I'm not doing no extra. Or you're going to have to show me that you are worth me doing extra for. So we got to put you through some rigorous testing.
Dang, he said testing. I mean, you know, man, I feel like there's a fixation, and I get it, rightfully so. We live in an economy where things are expensive, inflation,
And y'all want a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Every time you see the thing, it's you can't send me $40 for no nails, and
the
you can't send me.
The crazy part about it is, that's not my experience. Personally,
we need to live in a space of gratitude, right?
I agree.
If you're about to go and get your nails done, anything I can contribute to that, you should be like, thank you, I appreciate you.
And that's why I says the type of woman you're dealing with as well.
I agree with that.
A woman like myself, I don't expect a man to pay for nothing I have to do on my own. That's my maintenance.
So you tell
I think
you helping, you giving is a bonus. It's thankful. I'm thankful because I do have men like send me a little bit of something. I'm like,
men plural.
Listen,
relax.
Like I said,
relax.
Like I said, I do have. I'm gonna just say, I have a particular guy that does send, like, if I'm going somewhere, he'll send me something. I know it's not covering everything, but I'm grateful because who told you had to send that? I was going to do that anyway.
Can I ask you a question? Mm-hmm. Can you give me an example of an event you went to where he took care of something?
I'm going to just put it like this. I went to the casino the other day.
Okay.
And when I go to the casino, I'm not a baller, but I don't play small.
So you gamble?
I gamble.
What you play? What game do you play?
Oh, no, I play slots. I play
Okay.
slots, but I'm not a small gambler.
Okay.
Like when I go,
She
it's
put
like
money up.
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent me I think $60.
Okay.
And
I
I'm
like it.
This is 2 spins for me, but
thank you.
You
thankful.
30 on a spin?
I dropped 40 on a spin.
But I'm saying, I just feel like that's too much of a game of chance for me to be like on the dice. I could see
You're
that.
missing
the point. But the point is, hold on. But the point is, he
sent
gave her something
because
exactly.
he know that this is a hobby for me. It's something that I like to do to go unwind. And so he sent me something. I'm like, I know in my mind this is not gonna go nowhere, but I'm thankful because you didn't have to do that. There's some women that be like, what's this gonna do?
And I don't like
Where
that.
this gonna
and
go?
I don't like that.
I know that, but why am I gonna say that? You did
so
something.
wait, hold on.
I don't like that.
So you feel like that, but you didn't say that
because I'm grateful. You didn't have to send nothing.
So you didn't feel like that then.
It's the reality of me knowing that this would have went nowhere for me. It's not going to go far.
But it's the thought that counts. But it's the thought that counts. And ladies, my thing is this. I get it. I really do. I get it. I'm saying everybody's out here really trying to survive. You know what I mean? But I think that we really we got to switch the narrative because while I understand there is an inherent value in a man being able to provide, right? Mm-hmm. I do. There is an inherent value there. And I think most men generally want to be able to provide. I do. The mentality of like, what can you do for me? I don't like that. If my man sends me $60, I'm happy. I'm happy. I feel like that's a good look because it's the thought. I think women generally just want to be thought about. We want to be considered. Like the fact that I said something in passing or I'm like, oh, babe, I'm about to go to the store real quick and you send me 60. Now, it may not cover the whole thing, but it's the thought. Mm-hmm. That for me, I feel like that accounts for a lot. Now, don't get me wrong. We got to be progressive in our thinking, right? We got to be progressive in our thinking. Over time, that 60 is to expand.
You hope it increases?
I hope it increases.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming you appreciate the 60 because, whatever his earning capacity is, like, that's cool, right? If it was someone that had more money, like you knew he got bread, is the 60 still cool? Or you're like, man, you could have sent something more because you're a man of means?
For me, that's why I said it's the type of woman you're dealing with. For me, I don't be feeling like a man has to send me nothing.
All right.
I really don't. When I do shit, when I go out, when I enjoy myself, it's all on me. And I don't ever expect anybody to help me with that. So I don't care if you gave me $10 on my bill. I'm grateful because you didn't have to do it. I look at everything, like not even just with men. Friends, anybody, my mom, you gave me something towards something you didn't have to. And it helped me out in even a little way. I'm grateful. But like I said, like you said, social media... It's definitely making you feeling like
that's not enough.
Social media is
And honestly too, I feel like social media does not do a good job at representing. Well, I feel this way because I don't feel like I identify with a lot of the things that the women online are saying that men are responding to. But I do think that we do need to switch the narrative. So back to the original question on the 50-50, you're okay with it. Your perspective is basically you take the lion's share. Right? As you are on your journey to progress.
And I also like what you said. It's not always like that. Sometimes she's
Yeah.
80-20. You know what I mean? So for sure.
And two, like, again, most of the time when I'm looking at things from the perspective of like a married woman and somebody who's in union with a man. Like, when I sat at that altar and made those, those declarations, like, I understand, again, because that's my template. That's what I saw. There are going to be storms, right? There are going to be times when I'm up and my husband needs a little bit more support. And there are going to be times when he's carrying it, fully. And you got to appreciate every season because nothing is linear. And I think that the conversations online are just, they're toxic in my opinion, because I also think it places an unfair weight on men. I think men generally want to provide. I do think that generally there are some aberrations. But generally, I think that most men who are well-meaning, well-adjusted, want to provide, and I think women need to show men a little bit more grace. If we want grace, because I want grace in some areas, and we're gonna get to that. I want grace in some areas, and so I feel like in order to get grace, you got to give grace, right? Change begets change, and I think that's what the pod is all about, right? We want to bring a fresh perspective to the space, because I'll be watching some stuff and I'll be like, man, we got to get it together. Like, Black men and women got to get it together. So, okay.
We in last place.
We definitely, listen, talk about it. We're definitely not in the top 3. That's for sure. And I think men should be really critical of that. I think when you look at your counterparts, other races of men, it should be alarming to you. Like, the things that are important to Black men, that Black men are speaking about. I think it's very, what's the word? It's very limited. I think relationships are important. I think we got to talk about that, right? Because it affects all of us. Mm-hmm. But I also think that I would like to see our men a little bit more, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but a little bit more diverse in their thinking. So yeah, we'll I like that. Any other thoughts on the topic?
Do what works for you.
I agree.
Don't let people gas you up into thinking you need to look realistically and assess your situation and see what works for you and deal with that and until you can
take it back to pros and cons. Because if it's more better than bad, but this man's not touching the amount of money you feel he should be touching. Like you said, be realistic. Like, do he provide in every other area? But he not really with the money yet.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's yet.
I mean, that's also too, yeah, because you do definitely got to find an ambitious man. The yet, yeah, you definitely got to look at that as well. But...
we're trying to do a vacation or something.
Please. Yeah. And we can go deeper on that topic, but I want to switch gears just a little bit. Diddy's been in the news a lot lately. I saw some stuff yesterday. I was like, come on, man. Brother Love is down bad right now. But I want to talk a little bit about sex trafficking, because I think in our community, in Black community, we just talk, it's a buzzword, but nobody really knows, like, what is sex trafficking? What are some of the activities that rise to the level of a sex trafficking charge? And
you're going to explain how it ties into Diddy and like what type of sex trafficking?
Well, this is what he's being charged
Well, that's
with.
what he's being charged for.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the sex trafficking, the racketeering, and there's one more.
I think it's transportation with the intent to something prostitution. Something to that effect. Something that has to deal with transportation. I don't remember it verbatim, but for sex trafficking specifically, the kind of the key element there is the commercial sex act. What do you think the commercial sex, like, what do you think a sex act that meets the level of commercial, what do you think that means?
I think that means that a sexual act was committed in some type of open setting.
Not quite. What do you think, Ray? Like a commercial sex act. What do you think about?
I don't know what that means.
Commercial.
Just from what I think, maybe it's bringing someone from another area to where I'm at, paying them. They could be underage, and for sex.
Yeah,
that's what I
partly, but the commercial part of it is, it could be tied to money. It could be tied to something else. It's just something of value, right? So a commercial sex act is defined as any sex act in which something of value is given to or received by any person. So it could even be like he wants something and he's compelling you to engage in a sex act with somebody else. And if it benefits him, that's a commercial sex act.
But he has to give you something of value. Money,
it doesn't
jewelry,
have to be money. It could be
jewelry.
It could be you're promising me I'm gonna get a record deal.
That's a commercial sex act.
Yeah. It could be, you're not gonna release something about me. Anytime you're coercing, right, somebody to do something of value, right? That's what kind of qualifies as a commercial sex act. It could be goods, money, a service, anything that holds value to a person.
I mean, it makes sense now that you've said that because of who Diddy is and the things he can promise to someone to feel safe enough to, or even if it's not safe enough, but feel like if I do this, my life's going to change. So it makes sense. But
so that's a commercial sex act. Okay.
And
and that's one of his charges.
That is one of his charges. So the major element in this offense is force or coercion, right? So sex trafficking is a form of human trafficking where individuals are forced, coerced, or deceived into engaging in commercial sex. So remember, something of value. There's an exchange of something of value against their will. Okay. Exploitation of individuals often through manipulation, violence, or threats for the purpose of generating profit for the trafficker. I think this is interesting because I think in so many ways we can make the argument that Diddy probably had the capacity to do any of those things. I think the sex trafficking charge specifically is, in this particular case, and I don't know for sure, right? I'm speculating here that there's a lot of evidence that they could use to get him on that charge. So that's why the sex trafficking charge is quite...
the commercials sound like for sure.
Yeah. But even
it sounded
also
like
too,
a lot of promises was made. But then that also comes into, were you forced? Did you do this by will?
I'm trying to tell you, a lot of these people that are coming up, but okay, can I ask you a question?
Yes, go ahead.
I saw somebody come out from something from 99. How long is the statute of limitations on a commercial sex act?
That I don't know. I'd have to look that up. And I can look it up. But one point that I want to make is what's interesting in Diddy's case is, I don't know if you guys heard the Meek Mill audio or the alleged Meek Mill audio. I don't know if it's AI. I don't know if it's Meek Mill. I want to highlight that could be something, right? Like there's this audio that exists. If you don't engage in this activity, right, I'm gonna leak this.
That's cold audio too.
It's a cold audio.
That's
it could be AI. It could be AI. It could be a legitimate audio. But I think go ahead.
I don't know because first the bodyguard was like, I recorded it, right? And
whose bodyguard?
Puffy.
P. Diddy's bodyguard is on video saying he recorded it?
On video saying that it was
that
happening
exists,
in the room.
I could look it up?
Yes, it does. He said it was happening in the room and he listened and stuck his phone to the door to record the audio.
He stuck his phone to the door?
You can look that up.
Some of these stories sound so far-fetched.
So he said he stuck his phone to the audio, to the door to record the audio, and he said that he been saying it. He been trying to tell y'all what happened, right? But then I hear the FBI found the recording from the house. So
like the room was wired with audio?
Or because they either that or because previously, like the video that came out with Cassie, right? Mm-hmm. They say that he paid the hotel people to get the video, right? So that means he kept the video, and when they rated
why he would do that. Why would you do that?
He kept the video.
Not that I'm promoting. Excuse me. Not that I'm promoting, but I'm just saying, like, why would you?
That goes back into the power these men feel like they have.
Or I don't know why he would keep the video, but they say the video was found when the FBI raided the house, right? So if I'm thinking along those lines, I can think that maybe Puff had acquired the audio some kind of way and kept it, and then the FBI found it.
A lot of the things that's come out about the case or things that they found in his house is just like, you got this much money, you're this man of this stature, and you can't think.
Well, I mean, I think that kind of plays into this, I don't even know what I would call it, but maybe an ideology or like a persona where you think that you have so much power or you have so much money where you just won't get caught. That too. And, it's I think the bigger point to me that's a little disappointing is that it seems like a lot of the men in our community that we've idolized for years are taking huge L's. And I know we started off talking about sex trafficking, but it's just generally speaking across the board. Why is it that our men, and maybe it's happening in other maybe it's happening in other races. I'm not really plugged into all the other, sectors, but our men are taking huge L's. And the sex trafficking one, I don't know. I feel like Diddy could easily, on his own, as the man he is, get sex from women if that was his choosing, or men for that matter, right? Without having to do all of this. That. But I think if I'm thinking critically, I think the reason why he chose that route, one, because he has power, and once you've experienced women in quantum, it's like
you can live out your fantasy.
Yeah, like you want. There's another element that you have to add onto it to make it kind of fun, and I also think, let's say he approached someone for sex, and they were a man, for example, and they denied him, then he has to worry about the backlash if they go and tell somebody. So I think that's why the element of force or coercion gets introduced.
Can the FBI leak that tape if they have it, though? Like, they can't get in trouble for having evidence that they found?
Can the FBI leak it?
Or can they get in trouble for that? Like, let's say that it is a tape that the FBI found at his house. They can't get in trouble for somehow that evidence leaking out to the public?
I don't know. What I will say is I read something yesterday where I think they made a determination in the case that evidence is going to be sealed. So we won't actually know what evidence the prosecutor has until about a year after the case is finished. That way it doesn't kind of poison the public on things that are discovered.
But there's usually always someone in the court system, someone that works for the courts or the records department that always leaks something. They willing to risk their job.
So a year later, we finna find out the tidbits?
I doubt it takes a year.
It might be a little bit longer, but I think what I read, and just where my knowledge extends, I think it's a year. It could be more, so don't quote me on it. But I read something yesterday that said that the evidence that is discovered within this case or to make the case will be sealed. So,
if you're the hotel employee that Diddy approaches to get the tape of what just happened to Cassie, are you taking the bread and giving him the tape, or do you report or you're like, nah, I'm not giving you the tape.
I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want nothing to do with it. That's
a hard question.
I don't want nothing to do with it. Me personally,
100 stacks right now, cash money.
Hold on, I understand, and a lot of people are probably going to say I'm capping, but honestly, like the way I've lived my life up until this point, and how like the things that I believe in, I know that's going to come back on me. I don't even want to be. I don't even want
nothing about that guy.
That's fine.
That's
fine, but I don't want to take that chance. Me personally. I can only speak for me personally, right? I just want to live my life so high level. I don't want to be involved in something like that because I think that, and I've had lessons that I've had to learn the hard way where I thought I was going to get away with something and then it comes back. And always when it come back, it be the most like, come on, why now? Type of situation. Like, why is this coming to me now? And I have too much to lose. And my dad always told me, he's like, don't involve yourself with people. Don't involve yourself with situations that have nothing to lose, because you will always on the receiving end, you're gonna be the biggest loser. So if he came to me personally, I might in the moment be like, okay, but I'm out of here. I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
For myself, I'm definitely gonna go home and consult with Pauline. What should I do first?
Is that your mom? Is Pauline mom Dukes? Yeah, mom. What we talking about?
It's one of those things because it's like I'm a firm believer in karma as well.
Yes,
I feel like it has nothing to do with me, but this is a woman. I'm a woman.
Exactly.
I have to look at it like that.
I feel y'all.
I would get at my.
Then here comes the Raven in my mind.
She wants some bread.
Get this money.
She wants some bread.
Get this money.
She wants some bread.
But keep a copy.
Damn. Not keep a copy. Not keep a copy.
So you finna double back
Listen,
on Diddy
she finna double back
with the blackmail?
Come on, man. See?
I'm getting up out of here with that money.
She said, I'm out of here.
Well, you know
Cassie, I got your copy for you, baby.
What that mean? What's like the tape of what?
I was gonna say when she gets the tape up, Diddy gonna make her sign some paperwork.
It's illegal. You can't listen. First of all,
you can't for some shit like that. Like,
first of all,
so he was already gambling by trying to pay this man off because
there's no NDA for that. I don't know.
No. I don't
Okay.
think there's an NDA that can cover some illegal activity. You was beating on somebody.
Okay.
And then you want to get me to, I don't think it works that way. The law is probably going to have a loophole for that somewhere. I don't think it works like that. But good question. Again, what Ray said. I'm a woman at the end of the day. And I mean, I think that there are a lot of people who would take the money.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people who would take the money, but I'm a woman. When I saw it, to be honest, I was disappointed.
Very.
I was like, man, like, so
Nah,
this how he been getting it up all these years?
The first thing I thought was, if
man.
you're able to do that on camera,
in the
what are
hallway,
you
in the
doing
hallway
when that door was
Could
closed?
you imagine?
Closed.
Could you imagine?
And my thing is too, I worked in PR. I didn't work in PR a long time, but I worked in PR fresh out of college. So like, come on now, come on now. And the video he made, that apology video, we're not going that route. I wouldn't have did it like that.
So what are you advising Puff to do?
So sit his ass where he's at right now.
And don't say in jail?
Damn.
I mean, you have to.
Puff played him. Listen.
He played himself.
He played himself for sure.
Overall, for sure. But what I'm saying is, when the FBI comes to your house and they raid and they get whatever they get, and you know what they've got. Mm-hmm. You know what's in your house, right? He should have been on the next plane to wherever Russell Simmons is at.
Listen,
immediately.
Like I said, I do not condone domestic violence. I don't condone abuse. I don't condone none of it. But like I said, the same thing. Russ got out of here. Took his ass to Bali and ain't never been back, ain't never coming back.
They don't know
the amount of money you have.
Akoi could come see me. Facts.
She in the car in the south of France.
The amount of money these men have, and it's just being a smart person overall.
That's what I'm saying.
The amount of money you have, your children could always come visit you. Go somewhere.
But we do not condone
at all
domestic violence.
Absolutely not.
We do not condone domestic.
To me, it's just the fact of
we're not going to compound the mistake with another mistake.
No,
like I definitely would have.
And the thing is,
it's just common sense.
100 mil,
exactly.
100 mil up next to Russ.
Dang, I think that the video
hotel in Bali
for sure.
There's that guy. There's a famous director right now. Raped a little girl, was found guilty. No, ain't no allegedly. He was found guilty.
He was found guilty. Okay, he's convicted.
Over somewhere. He directed a movie a few years ago that won an award.
And he's overseas?
They went over there to film the movie. And he ain't coming back. Like, wherever he's at, they can't get him.
There's no extradition laws?
And he's filming movies that are winning Oscar awards or Academy or whatever that's called.
He can't come to pick it up?
And that's cool.
My thing is, so the video that came out, I just think it didn't feel genuine. And he remember he vehemently denied that he did anything of the sort
to Cassie before the video dropped. So Cassie, when she went to her people, she had the video when she made the claim.
I don't know.
The video was found at his house, right?
I don't know. I'm not that tapped in, but
he kept a snuff film.
I don't know why I would do that, but I think I don't know what I would have advised him. We would have had to sit and think about that and strategize on that. I don't think that the video he made, it was believable. I don't think anybody believed what he said. And again, his reputation capital was on the floor at that point because you already said that you didn't do that, and now we see that you did do that. So
how much of an ass could you be? You make this whole video. I didn't. And then you did. And it's video that you did.
A wise man once said nothing at all.
Isn't that what they tell you to do when you get arrested?
Yeah. And I think
keep your mouth closed.
And it would have probably benefited him a little bit to just kind of be silent and let the wave ride. One thing that I realized, especially in media, is that something new is always going to come up, right? There's always going to be another thing. And not that I'm saying, he should not have taken responsibility or tried to take responsibility, but maybe be silent. I think he knew, or at least felt, that if I didn't speak, people were going to be a little like, what's going on? We see this video, so I got to say something. But I think he could have benefited from being quiet a little bit longer and really think about how I'm going to address this, because I think the way he addressed it was just in poor taste. But
I think him making that video and then it coming out that he beat her, I think everybody's mind automatically went back to Kim Porter.
I did.
That's the first thing I thought about.
Immediately.
Kim has allegations?
No, but I said, hold on.
Did you see that? Is that thing real from her book where it says, like, Puffy must be stopped?
No, I haven't read it. I heard the book was
false.
Fake. Yeah,
me too. But I'm not gonna lie. Thank you, Ray, for bringing that up.
Because-
Immediately when I saw that, I said, "Ooh, if they go and dig up some stuff,
because Kimora Lee,
that's a little
who was her friend,
because Kim, I don't know.
What
I don't know.
Kimora say?
she was also coming out saying that wasn't she wasn't getting along with Diddy for a while, and she was going like saying things were happening, and she I think she was the first one that found Kim in the home. I have to look more into it, but yeah,
because I feel like I don't know her medical history, so I can't speak on that, but I do think it was very abrupt. Her death was very abrupt. Now they did. I don't remember what the coroner's report was, but that was one of the first thoughts I had. I said, "Ooh, they better not go and start."
But allegations
start
of him being abusive have been out for years,
and nobody's.
So that's why you come back to Kim.
With who though?
Just whoever general who he was dealing with. Even the lady that was
J-Lo
shot.
experience.
I'm not sure. But even the lady that he shot, while she's just like he's the one that shot her. It make you go back and think of all. Yeah, it make you go back and think of all of these things, like in past behaviors that people overlooked or he put on other people. And now we see this video of Cassie. It seemed very plausible that you could have shot this lady. It seemed very plausible that your temper could have been crazy. Like it's just.
He was big mad.
Do you think when big things like this are happening, like all the Puff scandal, that it's to detract us from something else that's going on in the world?
That's a deep question. I think that at any given time, there are multiple things going on in the world that we don't necessarily have all the information about, or that, could be developing. So I think that's one way to look at it. I also think that this just happens to be a manifestation of, an investigation that was probably carried out, and they came to, a conclusion and decided to, put him before a grand jury, and they decided to indict him. Now, there are a lot of things happening in the world, right? Many of which we are kind of ignorant to. And that's kind of goes back to the point that I was making earlier. Like, I feel like as a Black community, outside of relationship talk, we should be participating in larger discussions about global things, because there are a lot of stuff that's happening we just don't know about. We just don't talk about. And not that I'm taking a shot at men, but if men are, supposed to be and provisioned to be leaders, these are the types of things that they should be introducing into the household or discussions that they're talking about with their women and etc. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily meant to distract or detract. It could be, but I also think that, this is not something that just happened overnight. I think it was as a result of some type of investigation.
Up, down.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, moving along, we got a safe space topic. Io, you want to take it away?
Let me see what we got going on. So, safe space is it's a segment where we have people, viewers. You can send something in and we'll read it on air. One of us, and we'll give you our thoughts and our take on it, and then you could do what you need to do.
He said, "Do what you need to do.
Do what you got to do."
We're gonna give you advice on your situation. So we are going to read it aloud, and each of us will give you our own individual perspective, in hopes that it can provide you.
It will be anonymous.
Yeah,
of course.
Of course.
We're gonna keep you.
It'll provide
under the cover of darkness.
It'll provide some additional context and color to help you make a decision, hopefully. But you will be anonymous, so we won't share your name. But all
right. So it's titled "Am I Doing Too Much?"
Ooh.
And she states, "I'm a Black woman in my late 30s, and I feel like I'm constantly being the emotional backbone for my man. He's going through a lot: work stress, family issues, his own personal battles, and I'm always there to listen, uplift, and support him. Okay. But lately, I've been feeling drained because I don't get the same level of emotional support in return. I've tried bringing it up, but he shuts it down or brushes it off. I don't want to seem selfish, but I'm starting to wonder, am I doing too much? How do I find the balance between being supportive and making sure my own emotional needs are met without making him feel like I'm adding to his burdens?"
Ooh. Can you read the prompt one more time? One more time.
I got you.
Not the whole thing, just the prompt at the end. The question. What's she asking?
Am I doing too much?
A couple sentences above that. The last like kind of
How do I find the
see
balance
myself.
between being that one? Okay. How do I find the balance between being supportive and making sure my own emotional needs are met without making him feel like I'm adding to his burdens by she doesn't say anything. She cuts it off at burdens, but I'm assuming she means by like nagging and carrying on about, you know.
Question. Ray, you want to take this one? You want to start off?
Go ahead, girl.
You want to start off, or you want me to start off? Okay. I feel like this is probably a lot of women probably feel like this in relationships today. So if this
in
is
all communities,
not in, well, our podcast really caters to the Black community.
And she said I'm a Black woman.
She's a Black woman, so we're talking about our community
Okay.
here. I think that there are a lot of women who can probably say that they may feel this way to an extent. I think this is a very deep question, but I'll try to simplify it. I think anytime you present your man with a challenge or a problem and he's not being responsible for or you're not getting what you think you need, you got to turn inward, because maybe he just doesn't have the capacity at that particular time, right, to help you with your problem or provide you that emotional support. Now, I don't necessarily think it is okay to continuously give this man a pass, right? You've sat down with him, you've tried to have a conversation.
What is that? Go ahead.
At some point, you kind of got to turn inward. And maybe, I'm not saying this as a tit for tat, but pull back a little bit, right? Because I feel like in relationships, things should be reciprocal. Now, if you know, and again, I feel like sometimes we skimp on details, but if you know that your man is in a season, right, where he does not have the emotional capacity to give all that you need, you got to find that somewhere else. You got to find that, whether it's in a group of, girlfriends or...
Did she mention if she was married or if she was just...
It doesn't say married. It just says my man.
Yeah, you got to go to a yoga class.
It also depends on... If she's saying my man, so they're not... I'm just going to take it as they're not
married.
She would have said my husband?
Yeah.
What does turning inwards or looking inwards look like to you?
Couple things. Find things that you enjoy doing. Genuinely enjoy doing. Whether it's... I just want to get together with my girl on the weekend and just sit in the house and chill and talk. Or, I've always wanted to do a podcast, so I'm gonna develop that. Go to the gym.
Why'd you whisper that?
Go to the gym. Because the gym, it helps with a couple different things, right? Mentally.
So they're chubby.
Hold on. They could be. She could be a chubby woman.
And you think that's
Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay,
Let me land my plane.
Okay.
Why I say go to the gym, chubby or not, right? Chubby or not. If I'm in a relationship and I'm expecting something from my man and I'm not getting it, I'm mad. Like, I'm not happy about that. So let's start off there, right? I'm probably feeling frustrated at the fact that I'm not getting in return what I'm giving. So that in and of itself is going to cause some level of turmoil in me. And I'm probably going to be showing up in ways that I don't necessarily like. When I say go to the gym, at least in my experience, what it's done for me is it really helps me to fortify my mind. I get stronger. I stop really wanting to put that extra load on you, right? And I think in turn, when you are committed and you're doing it regularly, your man starts to pay attention a little bit. There are so many benefits from that. So the gym, in my opinion, and it's not just go to the gym. So that's not like you go to the gym and everything's going to change. But I think that in the process of going to the gym or just working on yourself, turning inwards, getting a hobby, go out with your girlfriends, go out to the movies by yourself, just start focusing on you a little bit. I think that you'll find that everything that you're searching for is within you.
So you're saying that so what I just heard was you're just not going to put any more time and attention into the fact that he's not doing what you want. You're going to go do what you want to do, and that will make it easier for you to accept the fact that he's not doing what you want.
That's precisely what it is, because I'm not going to keep hitting my head on the wall, right? And trying to figure out why this is bruised.
I feel like I wish we would have more details. How long they've been
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's very vague, because there's also, I'm going to go from my own experience, overplaying your part.
I was going to say,
this is just my man.
Talk about
because sometimes we do too much.
That's what I'm saying. If this was her husband, I understood. For me personally, I'm 30. I'm in my 30s, and I'm just dating you. But we've been dating for maybe a few years, or it should
3 to 5.
Too long.
That's a
Okay.
long time.
Too long.
That's a long
So
time
you're
to date
telling
a
me-
man.
okay, so
But I'm
hold on.
overplaying my
Long time to date a
part
man.
because
You're
now
dating
I'm
a
being
man-
everything for you.
No,
What am
no.
I being for myself?
If
You
you-
got to get gone. Like for me personally,
Get gone?
I deal with
I don't know
men.
about get gone.
No,
but
listen
not
to me.
gone. Go ahead.
I personally deal with men right now that's also going through a phase or whatever the case may be. At some point, if it's
Is
becoming
this the
too
man that's sending you
much,
to 60?
let's not do that.
Come on, let's not do that.
I'm
What
just
are you
wanna
doing?
trying to get
Don't
some
do that.
clarification.
Don't do too
No.
much. Don't do
But
too
it's
much.
more so of if you're, I know what I need right now. And if I'm giving you everything, mind you, you're not my husband.
So,
And I'm taking away from myself. I don't need to, I understand what you're saying, Cindy.
Yeah.
Look inward. But that's when we have like a solidified.
That is true.
Like, you know, we
That
have
is
something.
true.
but listen,
But
so
you're just
telling
my
me-
man and I'm draining myself to fill your cup. Who's going to come back and film? Like, are we just based on you?
I
Is
hear
this
you.
relationship just based around you? No. So at some point, it's gonna like, this is not giving me what I need, and it's gonna go on too long, and I'm out of here.
So you say
That's just me.
You say overplaying
Are
your
you going
part,
to communicate that first?
Definitely.
Okay.
Like, you know,
Okay.
this is, like you said, 50-50. I can't be everything for you and you're nothing for me. I
But-
have nothing left to give myself.
Right? Can I
Talk
ask you a
about it.
question?
So, what am I supposed to do here?
So you're lamenting on the fact that he's not your husband, right? So let's say you're in a relationship with a man for 2 years, right?
Mhm.
That's a good length of time to, see what's what. And there are plans or talks of like, yeah, we're going to get married. Like, let's figure out some certain little things, maybe whatever it is. Financially, we're going to work on us a little bit more with some counseling, whatever it is, right? But you've been with this man for 2 years. And this is like, it's not your husband technically, but this is the person that you see yourself spending
From
your
what
life
I've
with.
gotten.
Hold on.
Mhm.
This is the person you see yourself spending your life with. You're not giving him the full effort because he's not your husband.
Well, she didn't say
This
she
is the-
was.
this
She
is the
That's
didn't-
what
person-
she. That's what she
This
said.
is the-
Exactly.
like she
That's
said.
exactly
No,
what
but
she
listen.
said.
She didn't
That's
say she wasn't
exact-
giving him the full effort.
Listen.
She just said I'm overplaying my part.
Well, this is
If
after you've established that you're overplaying your part. She probably was giving him her full effort prior to him not reciprocating it.
And
No.
what does and my thing
Listen.
is, what I would have liked her to explain is, what does it look like when he's not reciprocating for you?
Like you said,
But she said
we're
it.
together
What
2
did she
years.
say?
This looks like the man I'm going to spend my life with.
Mhm.
The man I'm going to spend my life with is going to be more courteous of me.
This
That's an
man-
ideal. That's an ideal. Hold on. I got to tell you right now.
But you can't.
That is an
There's
ideal.
no man in
Let
this
me-
world that I ever want to marry that when
Mhm.
he's going through a hard time still don't have consideration for how I'm feeling as well.
I got you. I
and-
feel
and-
that.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you. So listen, the homie is dealing with work stress, family issues, and his own personal battles. What more do you want from me? It's a lot
I
of shit
am a
going
woman dealing
on.
with the same thing.
She not dealing with none of that.
She never said she's dealing with any of that.
Okay, but
But I'm dealing with the same things that you're going through in life. We're 50-50 at this point because we're not married.
I do think there.
I
needs to
probably
be a-
have my own home. You have your own home. We probably have kids. We probably don't. I have the same stresses every day that you have. And I'm still filling your cup. Who's filling mine?
and that's why I said. See, I don't
She
like
said just
to
go to the gym.
hold on, but I think that we don't. I think we should not deal in extremes, right? I feel like we shouldn't deal in extremes. So, in that example, I understand where Ray's coming from. I feel like, and again, I'm speaking from the perspective of a married woman. I'm going to turn inward so that, and that's kind of a time for assessment, right? I'm actually thinking to myself as I'm on that Stairmaster, I'm on the treadmill, I'm on the elliptical, like, is this worth continuing, right? I'm not going to just snap my finger and be like, I'm out of the relationship, but I'm going to turn inward. And if I get the piece that I need, right? And you're still not showing an effort, but I do understand what E said, like, he going through something. I feel like we
I
don't
get
give
that.
it. We
But
don't.
I
We
get
don't. We
that.
don't. We
But
don't
as a
give. Hold on.
husband-
We don't give. I feel like we don't give
Y'all don't.
enough grace. Hold on. I don't feel like we give enough grace to men. Now, I feel
None.
like. Hold on. Hold on. I do feel like within reason. Because at some point, if I'm coming to you with a request or a demand or something that is bothering me, maybe you're not in a position this week, maybe not next week, but it can't be 6 months and I'm still complaining about the same thing. I think at some point any individual has to pull themselves out of the rut or try to find some provision, or even if it's like, babe, I know, I haven't really been attentive. I'm just dealing with a lot, but let's go get a margarita tonight. That's that effort that I'm looking for. I don't believe in just cutting somebody off. I feel like that's a little extreme.
It's the
I
you
feel
have
like-
to see where you are. You're a married woman.
True.
You cut
If I
people
was
off.
if I was a married woman, I'm definitely thick or thin, right?
But I don't think that's something that just
I
turns
get that.
on when you get married, though.
But I get what you're
I
saying.
don't feel like that just turns
more so.
That's
I'm going
exactly
I'm
what
going
I
to
was
think it
trying
more
to get
over
to.
because I'm married. I'm not just gonna.
But I feel like as a
dating woman, I'm gonna give my really quick. As a dating woman, what I want and what I need is non-negotiable. Like if you're not giving me what I need, you gotta go.
What do you need?
This is a different topic. Like I said, with this particular question here,
Tell her.
My thing is,
it's just I don't know. I think I've dealt with so much shit.
So you've been dealing with fuck boys.
I felt with I have. Let's just put that out there. I definitely have.
So,
but
go ahead.
With that being said, me dating now, mind you, I've been off the dating scene for 4 years. I'm back in the dating scene.
We gotta get Ray back on the dating scene. We're gonna host something for Ray. Because
a mixer,
something. We gonna do something. We got it now because I want all my friends. I want all my girls to be in relationships.
She want a Nigerian man.
We can do that. We can figure that out too. But I just want to land on this point because I feel like again. As a married woman, it has taken me, I've been married 8 years, going 9 years. It does not just come overnight.
I get that.
It doesn't.
I get that.
And my thing is, the major principle that I think that our generation fails on is we just don't want to put in the work. And the thing is here, you don't just get that. As a married woman, like I didn't come into the relationship and then you made a commitment. I stood before my friends and my family.
To look at where the person is at.
But like she said, you don't get to that type of feeling overnight. When I asked you about the 2-year relationship, I feel like that's enough time for you guys to have poured into each other for this to be type of a marriage type setting.
No, hold on.
There's never a marriage type setting
until you're married.
And if you want to marry me, you're going to marry me. So now I'm playing wife to a man that's about to be having me going.
So you're telling me right
not
now,
necessarily.
You're not even my husband.
That if you're in a 2-year relationship,
my thing is
it's
that
overplaying your role
to me, I can understand. There's a huge distinction, but I do think that what men would see right when this conversation is going on is you think that you're going to get in a relationship and you're just going to get those qualities, and it doesn't happen that way. I think that there are qualities.
I think that
listen to what you're saying.
I think that there are qualities, ladies. Listen. There are qualities that you have or you don't. The idea that you're going to get into a relationship with a man and because he, planned a wedding for you or you guys went to the justice of the peace and you had, a wedding or a marriage ceremony, that all of a sudden you are going to be poised in position to just deal. It doesn't happen like that. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't happen like that. So I think what men see, and it may not be our intention for that, but what they see
as well, red flags. Every time I bring it up, he brushes it off. You already pay attention to his traits. This is what I'm going to be married to?
I agree with that.
This is what I'm about to be dealing with?
But I think that
we can't even talk before we're even married.
He's dealing with a lot right now. You need to give that man some grace.
I could definitely give a man grace, but...
It don't sound like it.
At some point, it's like, what am I supposed to do? I am also dealing... So, okay, I give him grace, but he brushes it off. Now, you see me giving you grace. You see me doing everything for you because I know you're going through a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
All I want to do is talk about what you're going through, and you still don't want to talk?
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
You still brushing me off?
Listen, I don't want to. You can't tell me how I should deal with. They don't have the tools
to communicate sometimes.
I don't think that man may not. But even if he did, you can't tell me or expect from me how you would like me to handle a situation. Everyone is a different individual.
So flip it. This is your girl.
But if you're in a relationship, though, because I'm always gonna play devil's. But if you're in a relationship, though, a part of the fact that you are in a relationship means that you do need to consider me. I mean, I'm not saying that you have to, every single time I come to you, be ready to have a conversation. But at some point, to Ray's point, we got to talk about it. Like, you're not giving me the benefit of being informed on what you're going through or what the expectation is or how I can assist because I have a need that's not being met. So at what point are we going
to marry a man that I can't even talk to before we're married?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
This may just be a time period.
It might be a period
of what's going on in the relationship. This may not be a thing that's happening every day or all the time. He's going through some things. She listed 3 separate things that this man is dealing with. We don't know the severity of these issues.
And that's why
said work issues. He could be about to be losing his job. She said family issues. He could have just lost his mom. She said personal issues. Health could be failing.
Ooh.
I don't got time to be explaining.
That makes sense as well. But it's also, she has to, I feel like at the end of the day, and this is just me personally because I'm not married. You guys are married. I'm thinking of myself.
She needs to ride the wave. I can't drain
myself for somebody. Mm-hmm. That's not my person. And like you said, they could be like married. They're not. married.
So fellas, that's how they acting. If you
See, I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I don't agree
into
with
this
that.
woman or a
Where I'm
woman,
at,
and
I
here-
can't, and I definitely
agree
can
with
give you.
that.
I can give you grace, and I can deal with you, and I'm very. And if you could talk to any man I've ever dealt with, I am so understanding.
Mhm.
I don't ask. men
call
for a
in,
lot.
fellas.
Don't do that.
Call in because
You always
she's
trying to
fit.
do too
I'm
I
just
give
saying.
so much grace, and I try to be as open and like as vulnerable as I could be with them, and let them be that with me. I think so.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. Call in,
But-
fellas, because it's a lot going on. We're gonna put the
But
toll-free number
At
up
some
next
point, you have
episode.
to assess the situation. She's saying she's being like extremely drained.
This could be
This
a
lady can
2-month
now.
thing.
She's breaking
Like,
down.
chill
What is
out.
she?
It's a 2-month, 3-month thing. We gonna
We don't.
bounce
She
back
didn't
strong.
state that. If she does, or like that's what I'm saying. This needs a little bit more context
For
for us to
sure.
go
That's some more
a little
detail.
deeper
Need some more
because
details,
For
y'all.
at
sure.
this
Y'all-
point, it's giving maybe get up out of there.
No, at this point, it's giving. We need more detail, Anonymous. So week 2, next week,
Come through with additional
Let us
details.
know what's going on, man. Because
In closing, I'll say this. I think that relationships are very nuanced. They're very tricky. There's
Mhm.
details
They're
that we
very
don't
unique.
understand.
Very.
But I think that what I would like to see, I think definitely some grace. Try to understand, like, within reason. Again, within reason. Try to
Within
understand
reason.
what he's going through. If it's something that you feel warrants the level of disconnect that you guys are having, turn inward. Again, I think that if it's a season, and a season could be anywhere from 3 to 6 months, right?
a season
It's
can be anywhere from 3 to 12 months. When it rains, it pours.
Within
You're
reason,
right.
ladies.
Within
let them-
reason. If
'Cause, yeah,
that
don't
man,
have these
my thing is,
niggas out
if that
here
man is
trailing you
something and
along.
someone that you value, I don't think that you should just be so willing to give it up. Now, I do understand where Ray's coming from. I think that we also have to learn to be more discerning. You know,
Mhm.
don't just be in a situation and he's giving you all indications that he's not rocking with you. You got to be able to pick up on that.
That's
I
not
don't
what
know.
took.
I don't know if that's this woman's situation.
We don't.
But what I do know is that just cutting off relationships, I think there is a season for that. I think that there are opportunities and there are situations that may warrant that, but I don't know if that's this situation. It seems like he's going through a lot. It seems like he got a lot on his plate right now, and it would probably be beneficial to him to have somebody who can, kind of understand and be gracious. Because I tell you one thing for sure: if you get into a marriage, there are going to be plenty of seasons like that. There are going to be plenty of opportunities.
Can a
where you
season
don't,
last a year?
It can.
I'm trying to tell you.
It can. And the crazy part about it is it could last 2.
I'm trying to tell you.
It could last 2. So my thing is the moral here is, I know from the outside looking in, and I'm talking about I've been in an 8-year marriage and it feels like 18. It feels like 18 years. There are times, and it gotta be for somebody who's worth it. There are times when you just gonna have to learn how to weather that storm.
I feel like why I said it should have had a time frame, or
For sure.
because I'm only speaking from me
From
in
your
my
perspective.
dating. I'm dating right now, and these are things. If this would have came up in the beginning, why am
Yeah.
I wasting my time here?
In the beginning, yeah. I mean,
For
I feel
sure.
like,
So I don't know how long this lady has been, with this man or whatever.
but does it matter if it came up in the beginning though? Like, what if he's
Well, if it came up in the
Yes,
beginning,
because
for
it's
sure.
just like,
yeah, that's
there's
There's
too soon.
definitely men that I run into that.
So if he just happened to be going
you
through
coming
something
with
when
all
he
your
met you?
struggles already?
Yeah, I
They're
feel
definitely
you.
doing
I
that.
feel
They're
that for
definitely
sure.
coming
Yeah.
with their struggles in the beginning. What am I gonna do with
I
that?
gotta get up out of
With-
here.
Okay, can I ask you a question? What era are you in right now? Like the girls have their soft girl era. What era are you in
I
right
stay
now?
in soft girl.
You the soft girl?
But
What era?
listen, I'm
I'm trying to
I
get
think
to
I'm
the
in.
soft girl.
Trying to get there. So
No,
where are you at?
I'm really trying to stand on business.
I'm on the
So
highway.
you're in the stand on business era. So not soft girl. Yeah, you're more stand on business because you cut niggas off after 2 years of
Hello?
time. You said you're trying to get to the soft girl
Listen,
era.
I feel like
never
I'm on
said
the
2
highway.
years.
You-
I
My
never
exit-
said 2
my
years.
exit
I
is in
said
2 miles.
It's just,
I'm trying to exit and turn to the right. No, but
I have great
2025.
discernment.
No, I think she
I
does.
have great
I do
discernment.
think she does.
So I
Oh,
pay
because
attention
what
to
I
little
took from
things,
that
and trust
was,
me.
nigga, you
We're
got
gonna work with Ray though. We're gonna work with Ray. Ray, I
Listen.
feel like Ray does have.
I've let
Ray not
so
giving
much shit
nobody a
slide.
chance.
I'm not.
See?
See,
I've
I don't
let
like
so
that.
much
Come on,
shit
Ray.
slide
She said
at this
that
point right
aggressively.
now.
We gonna work on.
You
it,
ain't
baby
giving
girl.
nobody no. So can I give you an example, right? Let me give you an example of a story that was told to me. So I'm just regurgitating. So a woman met a guy, and for Valentine's Day, she did some nice things for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that relationship ended up not working out.
Okay.
And
How long after?
Valentine's Day?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But she then goes on to say like, well, I'm not doing that for no other man because this
that.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm not.
That's how you acting.
That's not how I'm acting.
Go ahead.
I definitely don't bring one situation to the next. I've never treated one man a certain way because of another man did something to me.
Okay.
I'm going to just state this, period. I'm a Black woman. I don't care how many times my heart's been broken. I'm always going to want love. I'm always going to want to be married.
So you're a lover girl.
I am.
Okay.
And love is the answer, though.
But
So
you
she's
also,
standing
with
on
that, you can be
business.
hurt so quickly being a lover girl if you're not standing on business.
You can.
So you
That's
also
true.
have to
That
have
is
great
true.
discernment and pay attention to things
That's
because
true.
how many seasons have this man had?
Let me ask you a question.
How many seasons have you had? And how did he react to when you were in your season?
And that's the thing we got to really talk about.
How did he
Because
react
when I'm
you
in my
your
season,
Did he
I
have
feel like
grace
we're at
for
the-
you?
that's what I'm saying. Because I feel like honestly, and I'm not trying to be controversial, but
Are you going to wait around for a year while she's in her season,
sometimes
Edgar?
Me?
Yeah.
Men
Listen,
want women
Yeah.
to perpetually be in a state of like, don't complain about none, don't bring none in me, and it's just not realistic. So I feel like give grace, get grace, and I think generally, I don't have statistics on this, but I think generally Black women show Black men, or they're with Black men in seasons when there's a lot of turmoil and hardship.
I can agree with that.
And I think that we
let me
don't
ask a quick
necessarily
question.
feel like we get any recognition for that. Maybe not maybe recognition is not the right word, but we don't it's not appreciated as much because the quip is I can do bad by myself, right? If I'm not in a relationship and I'm struggling, that's one thing. But if I'm in relationship and struggling, it almost causes you to think like, well,
What am I
why
doing
would
here?
why would I intentionally sign up to do this and then to compound it, you're not even like appreciating the fact that I'm in this with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got a question?
Yeah, I have a question for Edgar as well. Like you said, could it last up to a year? A season last up to a year? Now, I've seen in my own life, I've seen women deal with men that go through seasons, whatever, and we have grace for them. We deal with them. We don't just leave them. I know I don't just
That's
leave
true.
a man.
That is true.
A woman comes to you, and you're just starting to talk to her. Y'all just starting to get to know each other, but she got bills piled up. She got this going on. You sticking around?
That's not the woman for me.
Exactly.
Okay.
So why is that the man for me?
Definitely if someone comes to you and they're burden off rip, for sure. But she sounds like she was in a relationship. So can I ask you a question, right?
Mhm.
Because from what I've gathered, it's just been steady stream of fuckboy. So where are you meeting these men?
Don't do that, because I didn't say steady stream. I have dealt with fuckboys.
Okay, so where do you go to meet your man?
I haven't been dating. Like I said, I've been out the dating pool for over 4 years. My child's father was the last man I dated, and I
Okay.
met him in school.
Okay. That's a nice place to meet somebody.
So, I mean, other than that,
Can someone DM you?
I don't do DMs.
You don't do DMs.
I mean, if I know you,
So someone has to meet you in person.
I'm a person.
Okay.
Like I definitely love to meet in person. I don't like the catfish. I don't like I don't like none of that. I can really literally count on my hand how many times I have actually met a guy that have DM'd me.
Okay. How many?
I will say about 2 or 3 times at
Okay.
most. And every time I've done it,
Horrible.
horrible. But I'm not a big fan of the DM thing.
Okay.
Yes, if we've met each other, we've been out and I've seen you somewhere, you DM me. We've seen each other before. But you just DM me off the rip and think we about to start this full relationship or we about to go. And yeah, no, that's just not for me. I like to meet people in person.
I'm with it. Quick question before just to double back on Diddy. So are you no playing Diddy no more when Keisha Cole come on last night? We ain't karaoke in this.
I actually really like the Diddy and Mace era, like when they were really hot and a lot of their songs. I have them on my playlist. I won't lie. When they come on, I have skipped.
Okay.
I have skipped. Not to say that I'm going to skip indefinitely, but as of recent, the emotion that comes up when it comes on, I don't really like that vibe, so I just skip it.
Let me get 5 songs from that era that's on your playlist right now. From memory.
That's crazy. Okay, Mace, Tell Me What You Want. Oh, I think that's with Total, right? More Money, More Problems. I could probably rap it. I don't know. I can't name 5. I know the songs, but I may not know the titles.
I got you.
What are we giving right now?
No, she said that she has a playlist from the 90s that she jammed to, but she skips
No, I didn't say it's from the 90s. It's just
or
a mix.
the era from the Mason Puff era.
Sure. It's a playlist that has songs from that era on it.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily mean that it is themed after that era. I'm just saying I won't say like in the last month, but I would say last couple months, when the songs come on, I'm just not really like, I want to, blast this out the window and be driving down the street.
You skipping Kels?
I was just about to get that same. This may be off topic, but maybe
there's one song that I will not skip ever. It's the one with Kelly Price and
Three-Way Phone Call.
I will never skip that song. I don't care what you say to me. I don't care what you say to me.
That's what I said. That could answer that question.
That song right there,
I'm sorry.
never skipping that song. If that's the, I don't care. That song.
Don't hate me, ladies. Don't fight me. I'm never skipping Kelly ever.
That song, that's off his gospel CD, and it's called "You Saved Me." I'm not too big a fan of gospel music, but that is the best gospel CD I've ever heard in my life.
Ever.
Like
I would never skip that song.
Bar none, man. Like that whole CD. And I'm not into gospel music, but that shit, man.
It gave me chills just now, just thinking about the song.
Got you like you in the pew crying.
And man, catch me in the car singing that song. You gonna think
you dropping tears?
Listen,
you testifying?
I'm testifying. Okay. I'm doing all the runs, everything.
Before we head out, can I get just what we got going on right now?
It's a wrap?
Almost. We almost at time. What you say?
Can we get it? Go ahead. You go ahead.
What you say?
No, I was just gonna ask. Can we get something everybody's listening to right now? What we on right now?
Is this to let me put you on?
Let me put you on. What you got going on
me,
right now? Yeah.
Personally, I'm personally really hyped about my girl Tanner Adele. She's a black girl in country music.
Ooh, she got the that one
Silverado?
No, the
Whiskey Blues?
No.
Buckle Bunny?
Buckle Bunny.
Yeah, that's my girl.
That's my song. I like Buckle Bunny. Shout out to her.
I'm big on Tanner right now. And
What's her last name?
Adele.
Okay.
I've been looking for somebody to champion and get behind that's new. So that's my folks. She putting it down in the country genre, doing it like that. So yeah, for sure, get up on Tanner Adele.
Honestly, man, I feel like my rotation is a little dry right now, but I've been listening to the same things. I'm on that Bryson Tiller, his new album. His new album has been heavy in rotation.
Tiller's still a thing?
Tiller's definitely still a thing. I feel like if you've seen the reels on Instagram, the girls be putting the reels up to Bryson Tiller. I'm heavy on the Afro beats. It's probably the heaviest thing in my rotation right now. What about you?
For me right now, I've been really rocking with Leon Thomas. His new album came out, Mutt, and it's been doing numbers on TikTok and Instagram. But
doing numbers on TikTok means something?
I mean, it's getting played.
No, I don't know. I'm just asking. I don't know what that means.
But for me, the whole album is a no skip.
What's his popular song?
Mutt.
It's a no skip album?
For me, it's a no skip
album. How many songs on the album?
I believe it's like, let me see.
Cue me up a Leon. What's the name?
Because I'm like,
let me put you on.
Yeah,
do something.
Please,
put me on too.
I feel like I might have seen him before, but maybe not.
It's been like, yeah, let's do that.
While they figure that out, what we got going on? Oh, y'all ain't into really the football, so I can't even really.
Yeah, you can rap. You can rap with your people. We can rap with your people.
We gotta talk about these Falcons, man. Listen,
what's going on?
We coming 3-2, first place in the NFC South. That's just what we do. Kirk is out here doing what Kirk do.
So you think they're gonna make it to the Super Bowl?
The Falcons, I do.
You do?
I do. I'm Atlanta. Yeah.
Can we put some money on that?
You want to bet?
I'm not really into. Hold on, I'm not really into. I'm not really into. Hold on, wait. Hold on. I'm just trying to listen. I'm just trying to. I'm just
don't come out here losing your money.
I know. Listen, I'm not. I'm not a better.
Mazel.
Good God Almighty. Okay, so I'm not really into football. I don't know much about it. He did give me a lesson. I don't have a team. I guess I gotta pick one.
But I don't have a team.
But I'm willing to make it interesting.
You're a Rams fan by default? LA?
No.
Are you from LA?
Where are you from, City?
The disrespect is just on all levels. On all levels. I don't like when people just disrespect me. I was born in LA. I grew up in the UCLA Harbor Hospital. Shout out to UCLA.
That's Torrance.
Is it not LA?
It's not.
That's Torrance.
It's LA County though.
That's Torrance.
But it's in LA County.
Where is it? LA
County?
190th in Vermont, right? Or far? That's further in.
County?
Yeah.
Is it LA County?
It's Torrance. It's LA County.
It's LA County.
It's
so LA.
So you're one of those.
Yeah.
See how they disrespected me?
Yeah,
like
we don't do this.
One of those.
LA County. Where are you from?
Here's this. I'm Nigerian American, and that's what I rep. But I was born in LA or Torrance. And I grew up in the 818.
So let me ask you a question.
Go
So
ahead.
you were born physically
At
in
the hospital
UCLA
in
Harbor.
UCLA, yeah.
Where from there? Do you went to the Valley, from the hospital to the Valley?
I think my parents probably had a place in LA at that time, but I didn't stay there long. My formative years and what I remember, I was in the 818.
So by the time you were 2, you was in the Valley.
Possibly.
You
so.
Valley 818.
I'm not. I
So
didn't listen.
August
not gonna be
18th
same
means
there.
something to you. August 18th means something to you.
Is that no?
What is that?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Day. That's what I be trying to tell you. You're not in tune. I be trying to get you in tune.
818
day. That's August 18th. That's the Valley
Oh, because
Day.
818. I see what he's trying to do. But you know what? No, I've never heard of it. Now I know I'm a rep it.
Come
I'm
on,
I'm San
man.
Fernando Valley sweetheart. So
Yeah, Taft alum.
LA girl.
Yeah.
323.
Come on, man.
Anchor Park.
Stop.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I got to represent for the 818.
You have to.
I see you got a lot of.
There are for sure the Valley girls is tapping in. Like, don't do
Tapping
us.
in.
Don't
Yeah.
do us. Represent.
And I'm
Come on.
proud of it.
Come on.
The Valley
I'm
raised
with that.
me. What about you?
Come
Where
on.
you from?
South Central Los Angeles.
right.
Yeah, born and raised.
Exactly
Yeah.
where?
Yeah,
You grew up where?
Come on, the 5.
Okay.
Come on, man.
The 5.
We've been outside.
Listen, I've been representing 5 my favorite number since I can remember. So yeah, no, all of that. Okay. We gotta leave the pod with some type of self-improvement moment. We didn't really get into it deep, but next episode we have something that we're gonna do on communication and
Are
accountability.
we going to have guests?
We are gonna have guests.
Mhm.
We are going to have guests, but I just want to mention this. Our next episode, we're going to do a segment on accountability and communication for Black men in our community because you guys need a little
No,
bit of
y'all
coaching.
ain't going to do it. Oh, go ahead.
Y'all need a little bit of coaching. I want to be taught and teach. So I'm willing to listen to our resident male pod co-host tell us what we need to improve upon, but we got some tips for y'all too.
For sure. And I'm definitely all ears. I see you. So did you want to talk about, because we're looking for a co-host?
We are
actively?
looking for a co-host. Do you want to introduce or you want me to do it?
You go ahead.
So we are
'Cause I
looking
thought you was
for.
gonna get your
we are,
shit
yeah,
off.
we are
But
looking
you
for
scary.
No, I'm not scary.
But you
I'm
scary.
don't
Don't
do
do
that.
that.
So we
Come
are
on,
looking for a
Sydney.
co-host. We were supposed to have we have a fallen soldier here on our left or to my left. We had a pod host. He decided to go a different direction. Shout out to King Gerald Jones. He has
Shout
the
out.
1,000 Bodies podcast. Make
Shout
sure you
out.
guys tap in there.
My
I don't know
dogs.
if he's actually had 1,000 bodies, but we could talk about that on a later episode.
You didn't have, see, that's what women
but
always
hold on,
do
wait,
that.
hold on,
Women
wait, hold
always
on,
do
wait, hold on.
that. You didn't have to throw that shot in there.
I
You
don't-
could have skipped. I was really proud of the fact that you even mentioned his platform. Like, okay, growth. And then here you go right behind it.
But I don't
Right
think-
behind it with the
hold on.
sabotage.
I mean, with
I'm
the way
not trying.
things
I'm not
left, I
trying
think
to.
it
I'm not
was-
trying to sabotage. I just critically thinking here, right?
we are
Critically-
critical thinkers.
And we don't want to
critical-
give this too much
Can
Yeah,
you give me some examples?
Hold on. If you let me land.
Okay.
Critically thinking here. I think Gerald is a King Gerald Jones, or KG as I called him, he's a great talent. I think he's going to do well in whatever he does. But I'm saying the name of the podcast, 1,000 Bodies, that's very suggestive. I don't
He
necessarily
has
think
1,000
that.
bodies.
I don't necessarily think that that is plausible in the particular situation. We don't have to get into it.
We can do the math.
We not.
Well,
Okay.
okay,
We're not.
yeah, we're not going to do the math,
We're
but
not.
we are going to be looking for a fourth pod co-host, preferably a male. If a female comes
We're
by way,
also-
we're open to that as well.
We're
But
also open to guests. So even if you just
Yes.
want to come one
Come rap.
time, just see
Come
how
rap with us.
it feels. Just
Come
come
rap.
talk to us. see
I
what
got
you're
a few
talking about.
people who want to come
come
rap.
through.
Yeah, for sure.
And we could see how the dynamic works.
Yeah, we can
Because
see
if
how it works.
out, then yeah.
So you think he had 1,000 bodies? Sorry, I didn't mean to double back to it, but you think he had 1,000 bodies?
I think that if that's what he's saying, who am I to disagree? That's what I'm saying. See, you do that. That's what I'm saying. Let's get into the numbers because he
We
said,
don't.
okay.
We shouldn't though.
okay,
I definitely don't feel like we should give it too much time. He's not here.
I'm with
So
it.
he's not here to go,
I'm with it.
back and forth with us.
You are
So-
correct.
I'm with it.
You are correct. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in with us. This is the Hear Me Out podcast.
I'm Ray.
I'm City.
E.
Any final thoughts? Anything you want to leave the viewers with today?
You ain't gonna get nowhere being scared in life.
Ooh.
Take that chance.
Ooh.
Take that risk.
Ooh.
Do what you got to do.
I'm
No one
telling
is
you.
coming to save you.
I got a tattoo on my wrist that says "No Fear," and I remember what you just said kind of resonates with me. Resonates with me because it can't be scary. You know, anything that you want in this life, you got to earn it. And you got to get over that fear. You got to just, because listen, if you try and you fail, at least you tried. If you don't try and you fail, you know you don't know.
And no one wants to be that person when you're 65, 70, like, oh, I had it, but you never applied yourself. We don't want to hear none of that shit.
For me, if you follow my personal page, you see which is It's Giving Ray.
It's Giving Ray.
It's Giving Ray.
So it's giving.
But that's personal page. We have our.
Can they not follow you on your personal
page? You said
the
personal page. You led with that.
No, I'm saying if you follow me on my personal
page.
Can they follow you? Can they follow you?
It's
Are
open.
you public?
I'll accept. No, it's private.
Oh, so you need to screen.
I have to screen.
Okay, because they lurking.
Yeah.
They are.
Okay. But if you do follow my private page, which you both do, you will see that I post a prayer every day.
I love that.
You was outside last night, though.
No, don't do that. She can't go outside?
Right. All right. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. She was outside.
I do see that. And I love that.
But it's balance.
You got to have balance.
For me, it's just stay prayed up. The times that we're living in, the generation we're living in, the people that are out here, stay prayed up. No matter what you do, how you live your life, you stay prayed up, you stay close to God, you straight.
You got to.
You got to do that.
Straight.
You got to do that. No, for
I concur.
I concur as well.
So, yeah.
No, that's it. This is our first episode. We've wrapped. I think we did a great job.
I concur.
My Instagram, if you want to follow me, is Only City with 2 Y's, because I'm 2 Y's.
Did you just come up with that? Or that's been a mantra?
I just came up with that.
Okay, that's nice on the fly.
Liking that.
That's nice on the fly.
I did just come up with
I
that.
don't even know mine, man. I don't really. Let me see.
It's very complicated. We're gonna put it on the screen.
It's
for
not.
him
It's quick. It's OVO the number 9 GER, man. Holla at me. We outside. No, not too much. We go back and forth.
Yeah.
We in and out.
Yeah,
we got
for sure.
kids.
We got kids.
But definitely more outside now that the pod is going. We got to be places.
I just want y'all to know.
Reach out, people.
I just want y'all to know. 2025.
Where can they reach out to?
At the Hear Me Out Pod, me with 2 E's podcast. I'm gonna put it on the screen so you guys can tap in with us. Make sure you. There you go. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you see a clip, subscribe to the channel. Hit that follow button.
Instagram.
Share it. Do all of that good stuff.
Let us know what you guys want to talk about.
Let us know what you want to talk about.
And also, don't be late on the bandwagon. You want to be the person who was like, man, I was fucking with them from the beginning. Y'all new to the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with that.
And given our personalities, I'm just going to say this. We are open to constructive criticism. We know the internet is very scary.
Hostile.
So you reading the comments?
Hostile. I'm definitely reading the comments.
I'm not in the comments.
Because I want to know how you feel. I mean, I feel like there's always a place to improve.
For sure. So why you staying out the comments?
Because y'all be doing too much sometimes. Now, I feel as though there will come a time if Ray brings some comments that we need to address, we'll definitely address them. But for my own mental health,
some comments that we need.
What do you mean? What I'm saying is, if she's in the comments, because she said she's going to be in the
comments,
comments, right?
Bet.
She sees something that we need to address on the pod, we'll definitely address it. But for me personally, and my own mental health, I understand that people are complex. And sometimes it's not really good. I don't really need to know everybody's opinion. You know what I mean? I think that there are going to be times where there'll be some constructive criticism that we can all grow from. But I'm gonna stay out the comments initially until we, till further notice, until something in it I need to
understand.
I want to see what they got to say.
I want to come say it. Yeah, you guys can bring it back to the pod and we can rap about it.